Well, Kelly, it's that time. We're going to talk about one of our favorite topics, getting into a tub with jeans on. I mean, Doom. We're going to talk about Doom. Specifically, we're going to talk about 3DO Doom, one of the most infamous ports of it. And I know we've said this before, but we really do need to start doing some Panda reviews of Doom games because there's just so many out there because Doom runs on everything. It's I feel like it's just going to be an evergreen well that we can dip into of Doom ports and different Doom wads and levels and things like that. One that probably wouldn't fare well would be the 3DO version of Doom. Kind of infamously bad. Most people say it's the worst version. I don't know about that. I mean, there's some things it's been ported to that don't, they just kind of barely play just to say it was ported to it. But even going back to the official console ports, I don't know if 3DO or the Super Nintendo version is worse. The Super Nintendo version is just consistently bad the whole time you're playing it. The 3DO version is okay at times, but then gets to points where it's completely broken and you can't play the game anymore. I'm not sure which is worse, consistently bad or broken in spots. But 3DO is pretty bad. So it's the worst or next to worst of the official console ports. Through no fault of the people involved, one person programmed it in a handful of weeks with literally no support whatsoever to put it together. So it is what it is. For it, it's impressive. A lot of people openly question how it was even still put out in this state. It's because 3DO is planning, as bad as it runs, 3DO is planning an upgraded version of the console, which never came, which would have allowed you to play at a larger window size at a slightly better frame rate. So basically, if you're emulating it, if you overclock the emulator, it'll give you an idea of what it would have looked like. It still wouldn't have been great, but it would have been better than playing it on stock 3DO hardware. But somebody has come along and made some significant improvements to the game. So we came across this video. Kelly, what were your thoughts looking at this?
Well, I liked the way someone commented on it, saying is that this is what Doom on 3DO could have looked like if you had given the developer a reasonable amount of time to put it together and a few resources. And I think that's pretty accurate. So I uh, I like to see it being rehabilitated and coming through again. No criticism of the original developer, tough situation they're in, but they kind of say, okay, here's a version that shows what it could have been if there had been some sanity in the management ranks of the 3DO crew when it came out. So I was really pleased to see it. I was in particular impressed with kind of the added features or the configuration type of capabilities that were introduced here to let you kind of play, originally it came with some options, the 3DO version, you could change screen size, but there wasn't like a gamma correction or any of that kind of stuff. This one here, to my understanding, comes with presets so that you can say, and here's how Doom would look if it was on the 2600. And here's how Doom would look if it was on an Amiga and Super Nintendo, uh, 32X, Jaguar. So there were presets for all that, where it's taking the same game engine, but they're just kind of using the configurations to say, yeah, it kind of look like this. The Atari 2600 version is pretty grim, as you might expect. But I just thought one to improve just kind of the base level play of a 3DO based Doom was great. And then these presets, I just think were magic. I uh, I wouldn't have had much cause to, without them, I'm not sure how much I'd be very urgently downloading the image to give it a try. But and we will include a link to where you can go to the GitHub to get a. I'm trying if you're going to run it through an emulator or if you happen to have existing equipment, you can run it on real equipment. But I'm going to look forward to it because I really want to try those presets out. Did you have any thoughts on those?
Yeah, the presets are what's really selling me on this. I'm not surprised that somebody taking their time could make it run better because I think we all understand in hindsight what happened here and that obviously despite so interestingly id Software didn't want Doom ported to 3DO because they didn't think the system could handle it. I'm not sure specifically what that was based on. I'm not a programmer, but they didn't think it could handle it. Obviously, it could have when you have a really good programmer like they did have. They just didn't give them the time that they would need to optimize it. But obviously, they got it technically running on there. So it just wasn't optimized for the system. They used at like every version did at that time, apparently. They used the Jaguar version as their jumping off point. So there are some things, and this is kind of interesting because I think this is one of those things where so few people had Jaguar and had 3DO at the time. I think a lot of people thought that that weird sort of ticks of it were specific to the 32X. And I think that was just because a lot of people comparable to those two systems played the 32X version compared to Jaguar or 3DO. But it's actually the Jaguar was developed by id Software, that port of it. So that became the baseline for all of the console ports, with the exception of Super Nintendo. That was something that a programmer did on their own as like a proof of concept and then just got it approved and it came out. And that used a bunch of the it used helper chips along with the Mode 7 scaling hardware to make that work on Super Nintendo. And I use work very loosely, but this is still based on the Jaguar version. But like Kelly said, what's interesting about it, it's not that they made it run better because obviously it could have. It's these interesting presets. It lets you go in, like Kelly said, make lots of adjustments to the visuals, the screen size, and the detail. Very similar to what you could actually do on a PC, but not on the console ports of it. And then these presets kind of give you the facsimile playing. You're not playing those games, but playing 3DO Doom with presets that make it look similar to Jaguar 32X Super Nintendo. But what's more interesting is where it kind of goes crazy. Atari 2600, Amiga, things like that, and kind of approximating a fantasy world of what that might look like had it run on that particular hardware circumstances.
Yeah, and I still think their Amiga Doom looks better than Atari's Hall Halloween Doom. So, um, but and even or even their Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not Atari's, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one as well. This looked pretty. This one looked pretty good. So yeah, and the configurations are so there's a ton if you want to kind of do it yourself and just kind of continue to make tweaks and optimize to kind of get to the best gameplay you get. You can fiddle around to your heart's content and kind of come up with all sorts of things, dropping the textures on ceilings and floors. So always a popular move to increase frame rate. Same with the textures on the walls and all that. And then also things you can do around your speed, the speed of the monsters. Just looks like a really kind of fun way to tinker with Doom and have some pretty good fun with it. So I think as we do, because we do, as you mentioned, need to start reviewing Doom ports. And I guess I don't know if this qualifies or not, but it certainly seems like one I'd like to have high on the list to really get familiar with and then come back and review because I think it deserves it. Uh, uh, I think it will do pretty well actually, but in a Panda review, but we'll have to see.
I
We
think
want
we would have to do the base 3DO game first, just so we have that to compare to. Sort of like Atari 2600 Pac-Man versus Atari 7800 Pac-Man.
so that makes it a little less appealing to me to want to go in. But I think you're right. I think that's fair. So yeah, that'd be good. Um, anything else you want to add about Optidoom?
No, it looks really good. I've already downloaded it. I'm looking forward to jumping into it and playing around, especially with those presets.
Well, hopefully the laptop I use for most of this stuff starts working again. And if it does, I'll be downloading it and doing the same. Hey, we'd appreciate if you folks would subscribe to the Bog Panda YouTube channel. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, give us thumbs up, share the videos, leave us a comment, let us know what you think about this. Let us know if you're downloading it, and if you do, what your experience is with it. We'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're in the downloading mood for awesome games, stop by our website and visit Bog Pandavision, where our micro homebrew site is. And you've got some Game Boy ROMs, Doom 2 levels, uh, all sorts of other little goodies out there for you to check out. More to come on that as well. And then, you're subscribed, you got some of our software. At some point, we'll add some 3D models out there for you too. But we've got all that stuff, kick back, relax for a minute and listen to Hard No. It's the world's shortest podcast, published daily. Uh, but, it's worth your time. It's a minute. Not that big
It's
of a
worth your
deal.
1 minute of time.
It's worth your well worth the free 1 minute of time. So check that out as well. Well, thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.